Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. I'm going to make another embellishment tonight. This one is for our swap, and the title of the swap, the challenge of the swap was Name That Tune. And so I'm going to make this one. This is the one I actually made for the swap, and I'll show it to you up close here in a minute. But the one I'm going to make is very similar to it, but I had a picture of my daughter that I needed to scrap, and this one that I made for the swap didn't exactly go with her picture, so I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm using my old Cricut, the one that has the things that plug in, and you choose the size, and it's not the one that's hooked up to the computer or anything. And this is called PaperDoll Teen Scene. And I'm going to use a combination of things. If you have one of those old Cricuts with those little cartridges, just keep it. You can run across those at garage sales. You can get them still on like Facebook Marketplace and things like that. And they're still very handy and very usable. And I'll just show you tonight how I used one and made really cute embellishments. So for this one, I'm using this girl, the same girl I used for the other one. And I used this hair on the other one, but I'm going to use this hair. So it's this one that I'm using basically. And then I'm going to use this dress-up dress because my daughter went to this gala event in these high heel shoes. So I'm using kind of a combination of things to make what really will look like her in the picture that's going to be on that scrapbook page. So here I did this in 4-inch. So here is, she looks like an alien at this point. We have to, her eyes, those little places come out, and you have to get those off. The color that I needed is kind of a textured paper, and I just didn't have any smooth paper in the right color I wanted for the flesh. And so I used the smoothest side of this textured paper, and it makes it a little difficult to work with, but I'm going to make it work. And so I want to, I'm actually going to use some vintage photo and just do a little bit of inking because it just softens it and gives it edges. It makes it look much cuter to me if it's inked. I don't really need to go around the top of her head because that'll be covered with her hair. Let me get this open, so I'm going to need to use it. While I'm doing this, I'll go ahead and quickly do the twist. This twist was really for me tonight. This was, our pastor even mentioned this verse last Sunday, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know, that is just something that I need. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the twist. It's from Proverbs 14:12. And it says, "There is a way that seems right to man, but the end is the way of death." You know, we just get to thinking that, you know, that we can make our own decisions and that we're good at it sometimes. And that scripture is saying that's not the truth. When we're living away from God and not walking with Him and praying and communicating with Him, our reasoning can get really skewed. It can get messed up. We get to beginning to see the worldview and thinking that the worldview could actually be right. And that's dangerous territory in these days because the worldview is very far from Scripture and God's view and God's idea of things. And so this verse reminds us that we may think we're doing okay, but it really is not going well. Our life won't go well if we keep that up. And so we need to see things, we need to use God's wisdom to guide our lives and not depend on our own wisdom, but depend on God's wisdom. Our wisdom is faulty, but God's never fails. And I needed that. I don't know if it speaks to you the way it did to me this week, but I felt like I really needed that. And so that is our twist for tonight. I kind of messed that up a little bit. I've used this is just a little makeup sponge, but boy, where you've got those little bitty places to get into, and I don't know why I didn't pull this out, like around her arms. These work really well for those tight spaces that you need to ink. I use them all the time. And I don't have to do all of this. Some of this is going to be covered up, but get for sure where it's going to not be covered up. And then I've got to do this other thing too. My daughter's a blondish, she's really pretty blonde. And so I couldn't use the one that I used for the swap. So I want to just go around this one. It's not as blonde as it was when she was younger, but she still highlights it, so it gets it to blonde. So I think inking it in this vintage photo will really give it a good look for what I want for her. And I'm going to kind of get into it a ways, not just the very edges. Just go around there. I am, this is a good week. A busy week, but a good week. This weekend we go to the scrapbook convention, and I'll probably do a video on the haul from there when we get back after this weekend. But my sister-in-law's here this week, and so we're doing scrappy things. She works remotely, so she can do that when she comes to visit me. So she has to work in the daytime, but then we can scrap in the evenings at night. But it's also our vacation Bible school week, so I've been having to run up to church for an hour or two. I didn't stay very long today because I've got dependable help. I've made all of the snacks in advance, and so we're in good shape. I do the kiddos' snacks, but it's just a busy week. But it ends with going to scrapbook convention, and I cannot wait. That's our annual thing, and we just wait for it every year. We love that. Okay, so we need to get this on this, but I want to put this little black piece back here behind her eyes first, so that she'll have the blacks of her eyes. This one is really, the eyes on this particular one are kind of odd, but I managed to make them okay. So we've got to get this on there now. So I'm going to ink. I'm going to glue her around here pretty good. Let's get glue all over her. And I really do like to use the liquid adhesive for stuff like this. So she needs to be glued down good to this other piece. So let's see if we can get her fairly straight before our glue starts. Whoops, come back here. Before our glue starts to dry. Okay. That looks pretty good. All right. All right, we're good. That went down easy. So now we've got this part of her hair, her bangs, kind of that area. This, I was telling you, this was for the swap, the one in red that I showed you, and I'm going to show you some good close-ups of it at the end, was for our mini swap this week on Ginger's Corner. And I know I tell you all the time that you really need to go over there and check that out. It is a lot of fun. We'll get some really neat swaps in return. But the challenge on it was name that tune. So you could choose a song, and then you made an embellishment that went with that song. And I chose My Girl. You can tell kind of the era I'm from. And so anyway, I thought that turned out really cute. So there is her hair. Now we've got to get her dress on her, and this is a dress that's like, comes up around her neck, but you've got to kind of get, I need her hand just inked just a little there. It's kind of not the easiest thing to fit these, but, well, it's not really hard. You just have to kind of get them lined up. And this will have glue where it doesn't need it in some places too, but that's okay. It'll dry and it won't hurt anything. Okay, but we got to get this on her. So I kind of try to find her buns, and then this just didn't seem like it fit exactly like some of them. Well, it's going on there really good. So I guess, oh, I didn't ink her dress. I can't put her dress on there plain like that. I knew something wasn't looking right. I got to get her dress inked. So I'll have to put more glue on her. And then all my kids are leaving town. Two of my little grandsons and my son, he is a sponsor at their kids' church camp. And then both of his boys are at church camp. And my daughter-in-law left to go see her mom, who was having knee replacement surgery. So I'm taking care of their animals while they're gone. And then as soon as they get back from that, they're leaving for Colorado for a long time. So I'm just kind of on my own. And then my daughter and her family are leaving to go to the river like they do every summer. And so I'm just going to be here taking care of everybody's animals. All right, let's see if we can get this back on there. Get a little more glue. It's kind of, okay. Let's see if I can get this down this time without having to take it back up. And it was going down so good. That's the bad part. Okay, I think we made it again. All right, there she is. She has her dress on. We've kind of got her hair fixed. Now we've got to put a shoe on her. She just needs one. That part of it, two, I don't need that back on there yet. Two are cut out, but we just need one. So let's get a little glue down here on her foot and get her shoe on there. And that will have that done. A little sloppy with my glue there, but it dries clear and matte, so it'll be fine. So there's her shoe. Okay, the hardest part of this is doing her eyes, and I should never do her eyes live with you like this, but that's how it goes. Okay. We'll see how this goes. I just took this one back like that, gave her some eyelashes. And then this one I brought forward and then gave her some eyelashes. All right, so that's as good as I can do with those, especially on this kind of rough paper. And then we're just going to put a couple little dots here for her nose. And then we will yes, give her a little mouth. And there we have our girl. I kind of got her dress a little off right there, but I think it's okay. All right, so I'm going to give her some earrings. I think she needs something there. So I'm going to try to give her some earrings. We're going to lay them on there and see how they look first. I've got my paper pretty messy. We're going to lay them on here and see how they look first. I kind of did them a little bit earlier, just kind of looking at it, and I thought it would be okay. There's one, and come here, and there's one. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to do for earrings. And that is my hole punch for my tags, that really tiny hole punch for tags. And I just punched these out of some green glitter. And so that's what we're going to use for her earrings. I'm probably getting my head in the video because I'm leaning over to look at that. But okay, so there's part of one. And there is the rest of it. And again, I got kind of sloppy with my glue, but it will dry clear and matte, so it'll be fine. Okay, there's one earring. Let's see if we can get another one on there. Maybe I put, no, I could do two. My glue's kind of getting big out there. I gotta clean that off so it's not putting out quite as much glue. There we go. There we go. All right, so there's our girl. Now I've got this heart that says that's my girl, because the journaling I'm going to do, that would fit better with her picture. But I want to go ahead and ink this heart. And then I'm going to draw some musical notes on here. I did that on the other one too. So here's our little bit of musical note. Oh, that's not the right pen. Here we go. I'm going to put a couple of musical notes right there. Couple down here. And then I'm going to put one of these green dots right over here, just to kind of finish that off. And then I have this heart that I'm going to stand her on. And then we're going to put that right there. I don't know how. Let me turn my paper over. I got my paper kind of dirty. So that's what this one's going to look like. And then I will show you the one that I did actually for the swap and kind of walk you through it. There we go. I'm going to put just a dot right under this leg. Hold that on there. And then, whoa, I'm getting messy. Put this right over here and put our little sentiment there. And we've got our embellishment. And I don't have the picture in here, but the picture, she's in a dress that's this color. And so this is going to go really cute with that picture. And then here is the one that I made for the swap. I had to make 10 of those for the swap. So this says, talking about my girl. So I'm not going to sing it for you, but I'm sure many of you will remember that song. And like I said, I just used this the PaperDoll Teen Scene, and kind of mixed and matched a little bit out of that old Cricut stuff. And so that was the original Cricut that I got. And I think I've had 3 since then, plus a silhouette. And I still use the things from that. So I'm going to give you some close-ups, and I'll show you this one first. get it in the light a little better. See if I can get some light over here on it. But there is that one. That's my girl is on that one. I think she turned out pretty cute. And then this one, and you can't tell, but her boots, maybe you can see it a little bit, her boots and the little thing around her neck are actually black glitter, and the little thing in her hair is actually black glitter. And then the heart is black, that little bitty heart right there is black glitter. But anyway, I thought they turned out cute. It was fun to make them. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And hopefully I'll be getting another one up in the next day or so. But have a blessed night, and thanks for joining me. Thanks for dropping by.